and ride down the hill in its home.
Right.
That
Yeah.
doesn't sound as fun as riding a penguin.
Maybe
No.
not. Okay, so anyway, I think we're live now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first video broadcasted episode of The Last of Bust. This thing here. Look around. I have every. Look at all my things. I didn't really clean anything, but whatever. And Matt Smith is here with us as Damon. I should get a little Doctor Who Matt Smith also, and then they can kiss.
Oh my gosh, you should.
Anyway, I am joined as always by Felicia, who's over here right now, and Jess. You want to say anything or just wave?
Hello.
All right, whatever. Yeah, that's good enough. All right. Look, we're in this one now. So we're on episode 2, baby. And Felicia, I saw that you again watched the episode with all the lights on.
That's because I am scared easily, and I'm never ashamed of watching with the lights on.
Okay, yeah, I think I typically get, when I get scared, I do that too, but I feel like, I was actually just talking to my friend about this, but, like, I feel like the clickers are, like, non-human enough that, like, I kind of just, like, look at them as, like, oh, that's a monster, like, it doesn't, like, register like it's, like, a mutated person almost, you know what I mean?
Are you kidding? They're so terrifying. I was like, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. It also kind of reminds me of Teen Wolf because anytime I watch it, I'd be like, I have the lights off. I could watch this. And then every time I would be like, I gotta turn every light on in this place. I can't watch this any
Yeah, it's a
longer.
real Teen Wolf situation, I was just thinking that.
Listen, that show is terrifying.
Didn't they just make a movie and it was, like, not good?
They just like rebooted it and it came out like today or yesterday on
Yeah.
Paramount Plus.
I saw the reviews were, like, not great.
Well, that's what happens when you bring back a character from the dead and recast her.
Oh, did they do that? That sounds like some supernatural business.
Yeah, and they also didn't want to pay a character her worth, so she decided not to come back.
Interesting. That also sounds like what happened at Supernatural. Exciting. So, yeah, anyway, we're gonna talk about this episode. So, first of all, how did you I saw some hot takes. I saw some film Twitter hot takes this week. How did you guys feel about this one versus the last episode, like quality-wise?
I can't remember what happened. It was so long ago.
Jesus. Hold on a second. Everyone just be quiet because I'm going to crack open this. Hold on. There we go.
Didn't hear that.
Wait,
No.
really? It didn't pick... Oh, Jesus.
No.
Not really, no.
Okay. Hopefully it picked it up
Also-
on my end.
Chelsea's half here.
Aw. Hello, Chelsea. Hey, Jess, where's your little dog go?
My dog?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my sister's dog. So he's at my mom's house. I live alone.
Oh, I thought you had dog with you. I'm sorry. I was excited.
No, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to have pets in my flat.
Oh, jeez. Do you think you're going to move again for the 6th time this year?
Yeah, it's actually looking very likely.
Actually, okay,
What? Why do you move so much?
Yeah, tell Felicia, how many times have you moved in the last year?
I moved last year in February, and the place I moved to wasn't very good. So I moved in October, and my current flat has just it's being sold at the moment and might be sold to a homeowner. So if it gets sold to a homeowner rather than a new landlord, I'm going to get kicked out again. So I've just moved here in October, and I'm probably going to have to move again, like in March.
Oh no, that's awful.
It's good
Yeah.
stuff. I love the market. I've having to renew my lease again, and now I'm paying $1,450 a month for this apartment, and that's exciting.
Oh no.
I pay that much for this 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
Yeah, I know. Which I tried to find all over, and then every time there were. I think the biggest thing was that, like, none of these places had washer dryer hookups for some reason. Like, why is that so hard for you to have? And then I was like, I have a washer and dryer that I own. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
This is terrible. We'll talk after about the apartment. Um, Moving is awful. I moved for the first time in 12 years. And let me tell you, moving that much stuff it feels real bad.
I yeah, I believe
It's
you.
too much.
I did like your new place though. There was a lot of soup there.
Oh my god. So I had this dream. I had this dream I moved into a cabin and every cabinet was filled with Campbell's soup. And I couldn't get it. It was just everywhere. Just Campbell's soup. And I have no idea why this was my dream.
Oh,
It
very
was
good.
the strangest dream.
Now,
And now Chelsea will not leave me alone.
how do we tie that back to the show? Um,
They were hungry and they could have used a lot of Campbell's soup.
I think. How long do you think Campbell's soup would stay good? Would it stay good for 20 years?
I'm pretty sure canned goods could last like ages.
As long as it doesn't um get
Like
what is it
breaking the seal or
called?
whatever? Like,
Yeah, if it doesn't expand, it should be
oh,
fine.
I think I've heard that before. Oh, yeah,
You don't want botulism.
I wanted to take this opportunity now to show my notes off, for episode 2, since I can physically do that. So here's one of the scenes from the show happening. Um, so there is Tess over there on the side, and she's saying yay, or yum. I don't know which one that is. One of those two words. And there is a zombie giving her a mushroom, and she's very excited about it. And then I have a smaller drawing at the bottom, and I think that's Joel with a gun and Ellie holding a sandwich.
He looks. Oh right, I was gonna say he looks like he's just about to shoot her, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if I got the height right. That might be the biggest problem with this picture.
Does he have a beard? I don't think he's got.
You know, I
Has he
don't
got a
actually
beard?
think he's really got much of one in the show. In the game, he does, so I'm always thinking about that.
Yeah.
He's a little scruffy, but
I like how at the top it says notes episode 2, like this means anything. Um, okay.
But yeah, drawing back to the episode, since we're on the topic of food, I thought it was strange how they said that chickens, like Ellie having chicken in her sandwich, was like unusual because the way I see it, like chickens are the easiest livestock to rear and farm. So I thought that was weird how they don't have chickens.
I was wondering
unless
if
they
it
have the
was like,
avian flu.
yeah, my
Yeah.
first thought was like there's probably some disease that killed them all or something. Like chickens might just be harder to protect from predators too. Cuz like I don't know. I wonder if there's is there anything on the wiki? If I go to the Last of Us wiki and I type in chicken, is there going to be a page?
Oh, I don't know.
I know when you play as Abby in the second one, they've definitely got livestock because they're serving like burgers and stuff
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like
stands.
relatively standard food in the inside the compound or whatever it is. Um, let's see here. Results for chicken. List of businesses, products, and media. Huh. Sniper's nest log. Okay. Oh, maybe this has some lore in it. Holy shit. We got chicken. You better call me over as soon as they serve dinner. This was from a supply dump in Dallas in the QZ. That is the only mention of chicken in the game, so...
I can't believe Chris Marsden didn't do his research. Obviously, they do have chicken. There we go.
Yeah. Sorry, Neil. Guess you messed up this one.
Yeah,
Um,
unbelievable.
yeah,
It's
I...
not
Biggest
lore accurate.
concern, my biggest concern is always getting scurvy. So, where are they getting their fruit from?
Pirates, probably. I don't know
They've got
why there's like a thing in my... I feel like in my head I hear scurvy and I only think of pirates. I know other people who aren't pirates can also get it.
Yeah.
And don't you just eat oranges and it goes away? It's easy, dude. It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, limes,
and
oranges, any kind
apples.
of, yeah. I always think of it because this girl said that her parents abandoned her and her siblings in a cabin, and they got scurvy because they didn't have anything to eat.
Was this
And I
also a
always
dream
think,
you had?
no, it was real. They left them in a cabin in Northern California, and it took 3 months for somebody to find them, or like 4 months. So
Wow.
I think I think about it because they were so shocked that they got diagnosed with scurvy. Like it
That
makes your teeth fall out and stuff.
Yeah, sorry, their parents left them in a cabin in the woods for 4 months?
Yeah.
Did they get arrested?
Once they found them, yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit. So what happened to them?
Um, they got medical care and you know put into
Yeah.
foster care.
Oh, that's exciting. I always loved the happy endings. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of happy endings, let's get back to this show. Um, where there certainly will be one. Yeah, so okay, so we opened on another cold open, which I thought was great. Over in Indonesia, with a doctor over there who's like, what was her profession? She was like an expert in what?
Like, was it like kind of like microorganisms, like a microbiologist, but like specifically like fungal organisms, or am I wrong?
Yeah, something like that. I'm actually going to open up this Screen Rant article, a sentence I've never said before, and it's 14 hidden details you missed in The Last of Us episode 2. So we're going to, yeah, her name is Ibu Ratna, was the name of the doctor, it looks like. Let's see here. The scene details the opening, or the beginning of the worldwide pandemic. I said the opening of the pandemic.
The grand
The grand
opening.
opening. Um, Ratna is a professor of mycology. Okay, so she just studies fungus specifically. Um, but yeah, why is this a thing that? What is what detail did I miss? This article is hidden details you missed, but this is just like this professor is from Indonesia.
I believe you missed that.
I don't know because they explain it. Also, I felt the same way that she did when she was like, "Take me home to my family." Like, I don't want to live with this either. I just want to go home. Like, I'm not surviving this. Especially when she was like, "Where's the person that bit the lady that she examined on the table?" Yeah, just bring me home. There's no.
This
She was like, "There's no hope."
this article says that it's an Easter egg that when they open the door, it makes a clicking sound, and then also clickers are there. Is that what an Easter egg is? Or is that just how doors work?
I thought an Easter egg is like, I don't know, like the Rick from the Walking Dead is in the background or something.
Yeah, which he is. I
Yeah,
assume. He's probably one of the zombies there. You know how they used to get like
yeah.
celebrities to do little cameos in The Walking Dead as the zombies, just like in the waves of people?
Oh, did
So
they?
we would
Yeah,
see like Negan's bat.
I'm just like imagining like a little Rick Grimes head on the end of a baseball bat. Coral. Um,
Coral,
but wow, Jessica, do you want to run that one again?
coral.
I'll yeah, we're gonna move on. I think no, I think there was like a bunch of people, like I know Jimmy Fallon was like a zombie in like one of the seasons of The Walking Dead, and like I think Matt Damon was actually one too. Like they've had some like big
Really?
stars. Yeah, like they just show up and they're like a background zombie for on screen for like half a second and that's it.
Well,
Matt Damon likes to do cameos quite a bit. He finds it funny.
I know
Yeah.
that in Star Wars they do that too. Like Kevin Smith was a stormtrooper.
And Prince
And
William was as well.
yeah, like I want to say Kevin Smith was like in the second movie for the newer ones that came out.
Um
Was it Daniel Craig one too?
I'm
Yeah.
looking right now. Um Win Everett. I'm looking at this Patrick. I don't know who these people are. Um, I'm trying to look for the like zombie cameos. Apparently um, there's some guy from One Tree Hill. Famous walkers,
Is it Chad Michael Murray?
maybe. Anyway, I think it would be cool if they did that. So I'm gonna close this article because it has not helped me remember anything. I've t- I'm losing my mind. The cold open was also very good this time. I liked it, and I liked how the doctor was just like, "Oh no, we're doomed. Actually, I like can't do anything about it. Sorry." Um. Oh, there was an Uncharted 4 Easter egg in this apparently. Now, do you think this one's a real
See,
Easter egg?
that's an Easter egg, yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Um, the lighter. Oh, the lighter that Tess is using is Nathan Drake's lighter from Uncharted. Okay, see, that's an Easter egg. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good work. Um, so anyway, yeah, I like that, and so I think the cool thing at the beginning there is just like the concept of, and like this show has the benefit of being made after the real pandemic happened, like, and everybody has experienced it, but like I don't know, like again, like the concept of having the expert come in and like, I don't know if you guys remember like at the beginning of the pandemic, like the pretty much just consistent fear of like we have no idea what's happening and no one understands it sort of thing. And it's not like there's, and definitely in the beginning few months, like it just was like there isn't like a magic person who's going to come in and be like, like I know exactly what's going on, I can help or whatever. And like I don't know. I was just remembering like May, June of that year, and like how like everyone was just like, you were starting to realize that like even though there are a bunch of people, like thousands and thousands of doctors that like have been doing this for years and years, they were like nobody was like going to be able to like defeat this basically. Like settling in for it basically. So I don't know, I kind of was reminded of that when she was just like sitting there, like didn't she like call a family member and tell them or something to leave? I don't remember, she did something at the end there, or she was like telling somebody like, well, like that's it's over, like
No, she told him to bomb everything and she asked him to take him
right,
home.
that was the thing.
And that's what I said. I was like, that's what I want to do. I don't want to like live through it. I can't. Like, I don't have the strength. I'm not that strong of a person, I'll be honest. Mentally, I can't do it. Like,
I mean, if you remember,
it's
like and like not like, and I know I agree these people were insane, but like if you remember the beginning of COVID and like before it had like really reached America, like a lot of people's hot takes were like, oh, just like bomb Wuhan, just destroy it and then it'll be okay. And it's like, all right, guys, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, this, this in the show is, I think, a lot different because I think,
Oh, Ellie's
well,
here,
we
a
also did
guest star.
another guest star. Chelsea, don't look at it. I know how you feel about other cats.
Ellie, look, there's a cat in the TV.
But I think she was so nervous because a fungus turning people into like basically zombies and biting people. She's like there is, and he said let's just make a vaccine. She's like there is absolutely no vaccine. Like she knew. I don't know if you've ever heard of what's it the word term for it? It's I think it's called purons. It affects your brain. Like it's basically like mad cow disease. It's in the same category. Like once it infects your brain, there's absolutely no cure for it. You're gonna die,
Oh,
and
exciting.
it's yeah, it's super dangerous and contagious. And like if you come in contact with it in a lab, like it's pretty much over with. And that's basically what she was trying to explain. Like, and so that's why she told him to just bomb everything because once it's out there, like it's over with. There's no way to fix it. So, and the fact that it's spread by people like biting each other and
Yeah.
scratching each other is also terrifying.
That was a salient point, but you unlocked a memory for me, Felicia, from long ago when mad cow disease was a thing, like when I was in elementary
Yes.
school. And I remember this girl in my like what maybe it was like second or third grade, just like broke down crying, and she was like sobbing because she was like, my mom told me that we're gonna die because the cows are crazy.
Okay, so I'll tell you a story about that. I wish my sister would listen to this because I didn't eat beef for years and I would not especially eat like burgers. And my one of my best friend's mom tried to offer me a burger and I started crying because I said I couldn't eat it because I'd get mad cow disease.
Yeah. I don't know.
And
Actually,
I was so upset. She still tells that story
jeez, dude.
about how I couldn't eat it because we'd get mad cow disease. But honestly, like mad cow disease, I don't know if you know how cows get it, but cows get it from like I read this. Somebody like write in if I'm wrong, but cows get it from eating meat. Like, why are you feeding cows meat and
Yeah,
like other
don't.
infected cows?
Sorry, they're feeding them the meat of other cows?
Like just meat in general, like or
Okay.
like just
Still, though, like,
spoiled
yeah,
like
I don't.
yes. It's and it like affects their brain tissue. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
jeez.
very not good.
I am curious, Jess, did the mad cow disease thing sweep over the UK like here?
It started in the
Oh,
UK.
did
I
it?
was just thinking about, yeah, I was just thinking about that because I don't remember that. Like, what year was this?
It was
It would have been the
it
late
was
90s.
it was in the
Oh, I had
well
just been born.
yeah, so it would have had like near it also happened in like the year you were born and like after like I want to say like
Yeah.
96 we had a big outbreak, but it started in the UK and then it also had like a really big outbreak like out west too.
Oh, okay.
I just I remember we had swine flu, and then that's kind of the only outbreak I can kind of remember.
Yeah.
I remember
And I
that
want
one,
to
but I feel like swine flu wasn't as big of a thing. Like, it was like, oh, well, don't
no.
get, it's just like, don't catch this. And it's like, all right.
No, and mad cow was being spread specifically by Jack in the Box. Um fast food here in America.
Hmm.
So people died by eating burgers from them.
Wow. Yeah, it happened between, yeah, it happened start 1986 was the first case in the UK. So, Jess, that one is on you. I don't care if you weren't going to be born for 10 more years. Um, I'm just curious how many people died from that. While we're on the topic of pandemics. Oh, okay. I thought like I guess I thought the number would be a lot higher. Sorry, it says that recorded 178 people died of mad cow disease.
What in the world?
Yeah, I guess I thought
Oh,
it'd have been more. The bigger thing was that 4 million cattle died from it.
oh, wow.
There's a lot of cows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the rabies thing where like when you find out like 4 people die of rabies every year worldwide. It's like, oh,
But we
okay.
have a lot of cases of rabies here in the southeast.
I feel like it's yeah, the there was like this do you know they used to have like a quote unquote cure for rabies and this guy was like, I figured it out, guys. You have to like heat up an iron key and then press it to the bitten area within 5 minutes and then you can cure the rabies. And it's like, well, you're just like killing the rabies before it spreads. It doesn't have to be a key. It's just like I
Oh,
don't know.
I mean,
This guy
the
was
way to
like
cure rabies is to, after you've been bitten, go and
is
get the
to
rabies jab. Not like
yeah.
try and work out a miracle cure. There is literally a rabies jab. As long as you don't like have symptoms yet, you're fine.
yeah. So anyway, don't get bit. Um
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the show though. Speaking of getting bit, we're on the road now, and um, I think like so I knew that Tess was probably gonna die this episode, just considering when she dies in the game. But like it was definitely in a different way, and I liked how she went out in this one. Um, it does suck that she does like die at the end of the episode, but like throughout the whole thing she has a lot of like input into what's going on, and she has her own agency when she dies at the end, you know what I mean? Like she goes out on her own terms, which is very cool. So what did you guys think of like Joel and Tess's like dynamic with Ellie in this? Because like I think in this it like really feels like Tess was like much more of a like commiserating with Ellie, and Joel's like off to the side sulking kind of a thing.
Well, I think you also skipped over the part where they find out that um, Ellie is immune to
Oh yeah.
becoming
So
her zombie self.
right.
She got scratched twice.
Yeah. Actually, on that topic, I did a little bit of digging on that because I was like I wanted to get some like more info on why she's immune, and so this is actually pretty interesting. She was not born immune. She doesn't have something special about her that makes her immune. When she was bitten, for some reason or another, a mutant strain of this disease got into her, and it has infected her brain, but it hasn't turned her. So her brain is like basically full of this like uh, this mutant disease. Like the cordyceps strings and everything are strung all through it, but it didn't take control of her, because it was just like some sort of mutant strain basically that didn't work right. But she's immune now because every time she gets bitten or the infection tries to get into her brain, it can't because this other infection has already taken over her brain. So it's like almost like protecting her in a weird way. Which is all really interesting because I think when I played the games, I assumed that she was just like immune to the disease by like some circumstance of being born. But I think that's the idea that like when they keep saying like nobody is immune, like I think they're probably right, and I think Ellie is the first and only person to be immune to it because of with the problem with the actual fungus, like the virus, not because of something about her. Um,
Yes.
yeah,
Um,
my follow up is and how about that?
I think that everything evolves, so that makes sense. If like I said, always I recommend the show The Rain on Netflix, and
Is that a foreign show,
it
right? What is it?
it,
Where's
it
it
is
from?
it's
Yeah, yeah,
Danish.
it was European.
So things in that end up evolving too, and even just since I think any type of like plant or fungus is gonna evolve, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, like, I don't know. I spent spent many hours in my ecology classes, learning, watching, waiting. Um, then like hanging out with Charles Darwin and his friends, etc. But the interesting thing, like a lot of the time, Chelsea's just like looking directly into the camera. um, but
Busy.
a lot of the time when you have things that evolve, so like evolution as a concept is like I think misunderstood by I would say most people. Um, like all that means is that between two generations of a species, the concentration, basically the proportion of specific genes in the gene pool has changed. So like literally every time like anyone has children, like they're technically the human race is evolving. Like they're different. The gene pool is always changing constantly. Now when you look at it at like a macro level, what you're looking at is this generation, like 75% of our flies had long wings and 25% had short wings, and then next generation of them, the kids that they have, like maybe only 60% have long wings, and so that's evolution you're watching happen. um, and over time, of course, that starts to change like the physical features and stuff, but it takes a lot of generations to do that. um, so like a lot of the times these things start with like a mutant strain though, and it's super not it's definitely not uncommon, and it's not like a weird thing. I think the weirdest thing about um, the fact that this strain has happened 20 years later is that it hasn't happened sooner. And I think a lot of people were also pointing out like it's very possible there could have been other mutant strains infecting other people and making them immune before, and nobody believed them and killed them anyway. That's probably happened a lot. um, so like it's interesting in that regard. I don't know. I would like to. I wish we had like a little bit more lore about the other people that like, because we know like the Fireflies like tested a bunch of other people and like weren't able to come up with anything. But I'm curious about like what the other people are like. And like what other immune people might have looked like. But there's also somebody who pointed out in the first episode. Do you remember that girl at the beginning, the little girl who they execute there? They give her like the injection. Like she's been bitten, but she doesn't have any symptoms, and the infection hasn't grown or anything. And it's like she's killed there, and some people were speculating like this this was like kind of just showing us like there are probably a lot of other immune people out there that are getting killed because they have been bitten rather than finding out that they actually don't turn. But anyway, that was my TED talk about immunity. Anyway, Jess, what did you think of Joel's hair?
What about Joel's hair? What was different about it?
I don't know. That's what I was asking you.
I think it's not very good hair dye. I don't. Well, it's not even hair dye. I think they've used like powder or something to make it look grayer, and I don't think it's very good.
I think. How do you think it compares to Henry Cavill's wig in The Witcher?
Yeah, I think anything is better. That I could have bought a wig off Amazon for £5, and it would have been better than Henry Cavill's wig.
Why couldn't they just do whoever did House of the Dragon for his wig?
Yeah, I know. To be honest, those wigs were very expensive. Like Emilia Clarke's in Game of Thrones cost about £5,000.
Holy shit! What?
Yeah.
Why am I not in the wig business? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Can you get one and wear one? Because I kind of want to see you in one now.
I would love to have hair. This is real, by the way, and I've been at my current office for like a year and a half. One of my coworkers was like, "Did you do something with your hair?" Like very seriously, and I just like flat out was like, "I've never had hair," and she was just like, "Oh my god, what am I saying?"
You should have said, I'm the real life version of Caillou.
I will not do that. I will not take responsibility for Caillou's actions.
Oh my god, he is an asshole.
Yeah, why is he coddled so much? What does he have on them? Blackmail.
Maybe you should have said Charlie Brown instead.
Charlie Brown's pretty good. I like him. I like his little dance he does. In in the dance when they're like Charlie Brown and like everyone like looks at each other and be like, what is this?
He doesn't have a pretty fire hat game.
What? Okay, I think that everyone in the world can be sorted into groups depending on what you do when the song is like Charlie Brown. Like
I
they need to form like factions based off of that, like one
don't
thing.
know how to do group dances, I'll be honest with you.
How did you get through school?
I went to Catholic school. We don't do anything like that. We the only kind of dance we ever had was prom.
Interesting. Jess, I don't know if this is the thing that you guys did a lot. When I talked to Ree, from what I understand, it is kind of the same there, but like there's like a lot of like PE, like physical education stuff in school, like younger school years is like everyone doing like group dances and stuff.
Yeah, for a while, like in primary school, we were doing contemporary dance, or
Ah.
line dancing, or something like that. We did that for a while.
See, ours was a lot of like the YMCA or like the chicken dance and stuff like
What?
that.
I never had to do any of this.
Yeah, because you
I
went to Catholic school.
I also went to like a Montessori school, but like
They
I had
definitely
a, I
wouldn't
had
do that there either.
no, I had to struggle through like dodgeball. I had a girl in my class who literally got a concussion for dodgeball. I
Jeez,
shouldn't
dude.
laugh. Like
Okay, but like when the cha-cha slide comes on, like you don't know what to do now because you're
I
like,
have no idea, but I did grow up on the electric slide, and I still have no idea how to do it.
okay, well that's great. All right, so I've found a plot summary for this so I can like actually watch it or actually see
Like,
it.
what are you doing?
Elbow. Elbow. Um, Also, fun fact: the this episode had a huge increase in viewers from the first one. They said it was up 27% for people watching on opening night there, which is
Nice.
yeah, which is actually pretty unusual apparently. Um,
Oh,
Yeah,
I
well,
thought House of the
typically it didn't.
Dragon, they always got more
They
viewers.
got more viewers, but it wasn't by that much. That was like a huge percentage to go up, is what I mean. Um, yeah, it was. That's pretty cool. Anyway, okay, I did find a plot summary though, so let's see here. Um, so I think most of the show took place in that museum, which I believe was a hotel in the game. I feel like people were talking about that a lot, and they're like, why? They sounded like that,
It was a museum in the game.
or it was a museum. It was the part at the
Yeah.
beginning. Where's the part that was different? Somebody was like, "This is different." I saw a lot of people being like, "Something was different." Um, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Um, I liked this. So I think the brunt of the episode was basically like the clickers in this museum, and that was what I had been waiting for. I was like, from the second they announced this, I was like, I'm gonna like judge this show solely on like how well they do the clickers, because like those are like, I mean, frankly, they're pretty iconic video game monsters at this point. Like they're really well designed, and they're fucking spooky in the game, man. When they're coming around the corner, like, "Ah." But then they're also like clucking like chickens, and it's like way worse when they do that. That's them.
Did you enjoy the hotel banter between Ellie and Joel?
Yeah, what were
How
they talking about
she
again?
she was just having a good time, like ringing the bell and pretending that she was checking into a hotel,
Oh
and
yeah,
he's like, you need to cut it out, being a grumpy old man. And then she got scared because she hit a skeleton.
yeah. I remember that. That was cute. That actually was from the game too. I saw somebody like showing that scene side by side. Um, except in the game it was completely flooded, which is less exciting. But yeah, I liked I liked the design of the clickers. I think they look really good. They pretty much look
Yeah.
exactly like they do in the game, except with like real fungus shit, and it's like not my favorite. I like I will admit, like, I definitely like got scared of those. I think I was like I think I got unreasonably scared of those in the game. Like, cuz they can
I'm
like
unreasonably scared of them in real life.
I,
well
th-
they
I
can
was
like
okay
one
with the
shot you.
clickers.
Huh?
With the clickers, I was okay because you can just lead them away with a bottle. It was the stalkers that freaked me out. You know, the ones that hide and they'll jump
Oh,
out
fuck
at the last
that.
minute.
Yeah. Hate
I
those.
hate those guys.
I liked the big guys, like the shamblers or whatever they're called, cuz they're just it's just like a big brown boy, and he's just like
Yeah.
running towards you.
With his arm movements like
It
that.
was a lot
Yeah.
like that. Um, I think I'm gonna just say it was a lot like that. But yeah, this was like a really well done action scene. And my friend Eric, who by the way I think is gonna be our guest on next week's episode, who's our Last of Us expert. He has played both the games I think like 9 or 10 times, and is
Yeah.
like a lore master. So, um, but he was pointing out that the scene was actually a recreation not of what happens in the game, but of the initial cinematic trailer from E3 in 2011, which didn't make it into the game. Which is really cool, and I like watched them side by side thing, and I was like, "Wow, this looks real. This is the same scene," and they like recreated it, and it worked great in live action. Like this is really cool. Um, one, I think that leads me to a point maybe about the show overall. I feel like this show is going to lead a lot of people, I will say, to be like, adaptations should be like 100% the exact same thing, which I don't think is the lesson to take away from this show.
No, I was happy when they said that the show wasn't going to be a direct copy of the game because I don't see the point in making a direct copy of the game when the
Right.
game's already been done so well. Like, I would prefer to see an alternative vision of a similar story or like set in the same world. Um, and I think it's going to branch out a little bit. I think it's going to elaborate more on the story. But yeah, I hope they don't start like just remaking things like page for page because that's not a good adaptation.
Yeah, there's got to be like a balance there somewhere, which I think this show is hitting, and I think people are like, so many people are focused on like, wow, look, they recreated this exact like 10-second scene from the game exactly in the show, like that's cool, they did it, and like everyone's like, this is why this is a 10 out of 10, and
Yeah.
The Witcher can suck my butt. Um, that sounds like something I might have said, but
A review by Anonymous for the
The
season
Witcher can
Nero.
suck my butt. Oh, this is Nero.
Nero, you just wrote this. No, I didn't. I'm
No.
sitting next to you.
Um, which I think when is sorry, I know we're off track. When is that last season of The Witcher coming out? I said the last season, which I did intentionally.
Well, well, I think it's coming out either summer or this spring, but I'm pretty sure it's like
Yeah,
July.
I think it's like sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
I
know and I don't care.
Oh shit, dropping.
I'm
well,
so bummed out by season 2. It was so rubbish.
Yeah,
I'm
I thought I liked it, but like I also still wasn't. I liked it more than season one. I will say because like season one was just like a fucking like I could not follow where we were or what time it was or anything. At the
I
end, when
like that.
when somebody told me like, oh, the Siri thing is happening like years before, I was like, what are you fucking talking about? Why? Why didn't they say that? How was I supposed to know
yes,
that?
it was very confusing, and then once it all clicked, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, maybe they should have explained this beforehand. But
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, whatever.
That's kind of like what the book's a bit like. 'Cause the book is like a it 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 mixes up the first set of short stories
it
and like some
does.
events that happen before the first book. But that set of short stories that it's adapted from is kind of written a bit like that. Like we keep on going back and forth throughout Geralt's life.
Okay.
I ended up reading the book after the first book after I watched it, so it made more sense.
Yeah.
Um, I think now let's not be too hasty because Netflix does always have their hit show, The Witcher Blood Origin, to fall back on.
Oh, I
Let's
haven't watched
see.
that yet.
Let's see how that did. Yeah, 31 on Rotten Tomatoes, 13 audience score, so pretty good. Um,
But if you do want a good show, Vikings Valhalla, I think, is a good show.
that sounds like it might
Or
be a
you,
better way to spend your time than The Witcher Blood Origin.
or you can always watch The Last Kingdom, which is also a book series, but also very good.
The Last
Or you
King.
could watch Dark, which actually like is one of the very few Netflix series which they finished.
Yeah,
Well, they finished The Last Kingdom.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. Wow, it's got really good reviews. I've never heard of
Dar-
this.
Yeah, Dark is honestly one of my favorite TV shows. It's so perfectly written. It's German.
Yeah, some people I remember like more than one person has been like, it's like Stranger Things but good. And I'm like, shut up, dude. You're just being like you're
Yeah,
just trying to be annoying. But I understand it's in the same kind of vein as that. Like it's like a
sort of, but
yeah.
it's very serious.
Yeah, it's like small town, dark, scary, spooky. But yeah, like less riding your bikes around and playing D&D.
Yeah.
Uh
And it's got some of the best casting I've ever seen because it does a lot of like younger, older characters, and it's got some of the best casting I've ever seen for casting two people playing the same person
oh,
at
I
like
see what you
different
mean.
points of their life. Like
Okay,
it looks so good.
awesome. Yeah, so I guess like back to the thing, like, do you guys have anything else you want to say about like this action scene with the clickers and the pew pew?
Did you see her get scratched? Because I did not.
I think it
I
happens off screen, but I think you're supposed to be able
Yeah.
to like see her like picking at it and stuff. Like she's like trying to hide it actively, I think. Is what's happening. I'm not sure. But yeah, I didn't notice it. Like, I wasn't reminded about it until like after she revealed it, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this happening now, and I also didn't notice the first time. But
Yeah. Because I was like, did I miss this? And then I was like, I should go back. But
okay,
I just didn't have the patience.
let me see
I didn't want
here.
to be scared.
let's see here. I'm looking at this summary here. Just riff a little bit for a minute.
Do a
Yes.
rap.
Yeah, so this episode was very good. One thing that I've been thinking about is if Bella Ramsey is like actually nearly 20 years old and she's playing a 14-year-old, how are we gonna get older Ellie? Like what if they go on to The Last of Us 2, like how are we gonna age Ellie up when this actress doesn't age? What's gonna happen there?
I don't know. She's like the Ralph Macchio of our time.
Of our time. Yeah. Well. Wow. Yeah. How old is he? He must be a lot older than he looks. Huh?
He's in his
There's
60s.
no fucking way. Are you serious?
I wait, hold on.
No
I don't want
way.
to be wrong. How old is Ralph? I'm looking this up right now.
Why are we not like using his cells for like immortality research?
Ralph
He's
Macchio is
61 years
61.
old. That's fucking crazy.
Yes. He looks
Oh
amazing.
my
It's
god.
like
All right.
Thomas Brody Sangster.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
guy who
yeah,
he's in he was Jojen in Game of Thrones.
1 year younger than the guy who plays the Mountain.
Yeah. um
Yeah, I'm also sad for Cobra Kai ending, but it's such a good show.
oh no, I'm glad they're ending on their own terms. Like they
I
said
am
like
too.
yeah, I think I mean this season is like this is the ultimate like karate championship for the entire world. I was like, what are they gonna do after that? Like do karate with aliens? Like they have to stop it there.
It's like Fast and the Furious in space. Vin
When
Diesel
Fast and
flying to Pluto.
okay, Fast and the Furious did go to space. I don't know if you caught Fast
I
9.
know it did. I haven't watched it, but I know
Listen to
it
me.
did.
Ludacris has to fly a car into space to crash into a satellite because Charlize Theron, the car sorceress, is controlling all the cars in the world with her mind. That is not a joke.
Just one thing you have to know about me is I saw the first movie 6 times in theater.
I've never seen Fast and Furious, so I
You
have
got
no
it.
Oh my
intention
Oh, you
of
gosh!
ever
gotta.
seeing.
It's just like
You have
pure
to.
cinema.
Especially because Paul Walker and Vin Diesel fight about a tuna sandwich, and I think about that scene all the time. Like, why is that scene in there? Nobody
think-
comes here for the tuna, man.
Yeah. I think also on as far as Letterboxd was concerned on my like year wrap up for last year, it was like the actor you watched the most of was Vin Diesel. And I was like, oh my
I
god.
know. I made fun of Nerve so hard on that. I was like, "What do you mean? What were you watching? Is like some Fast and Furious movies?"
And also Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, it's
he was
the
in that too.
Galaxy, that's right.
He's Groot. Anyway, but yeah, like so Tess gets bitten on the shoulder, and we know like from the last episode that it takes like anywhere from like 2 to 8 hours depending on how close it is to the brain and how fast it spreads to get up there. So like she definitely was bit during the clicker fight in the museum basically, and like already knew she was dead kind of a thing.
That bite was so creepy.
It was.
When she's okay. We're just gonna say I have never played these games. I've watched a little bit of them, so I didn't know she dies.
Whoops.
So my reaction was, "Oh my god!" And then when she reveals it, I was like, like it's so gross." And the fact that she let that thing touch Mel's with her was even creepier. I would have thrown that
Yeah,
lighter.
let me pull this up
before.
because I saw that Neil Druckmann had to like answer for his TV crimes he did, like with
That was
like
so creepy.
Yeah.
No way I would have let that thing touch my mouth. I don't care if I was dying.
there was like something where they were like explaining why they did it like that. Let me see here.
Ugh,
Was it because she
no.
was just like, oh, well, beggars can't be choosers. I guess I'll go for one
Yeah.
last snog before I
Whoever's
go
here.
out.
Let me see here. She gets bitten. However, in the game, her death isn't really explosive. Yeah. So instead of taking out a whole lot of zombies in the game, Tess loses her life at the hands of a group of Fedra soldiers. After players part way with her, they hear Tess's shootout with their pursuers, some of whom then pursue Joel and Ellie. So it's a lot less exciting, but I'm trying to like find out like why look at this, The Last of Us episode 2. Did Tess die? Yes. Yeah,
She
definitely.
exploded.
She exploded.
We didn't see a body.
Um, yeah, why? Jeez. Like, I'm just trying to figure
She's
out,
gonna
like,
come back in an end credit scene.
yeah, why they have her do this. Was almost very different.
It's
Upon
part
reaching
of the Last of Us franchise Phase 4 lineup. It's going to be a new
God,
TV show called Tess.
the, I mean, like, you think that's not fucking in the works already? Like, they're gonna have a spin. I guarantee they're gonna have some sort of spin-off fucking thing about, like, maybe like Nick Offerman's character. Like, it's just gonna be something. Like, um,
Who was that guy that she was obsessed with in episode 1? What was his name again? It was
like
like
Robert or something.
uh Robert. There we go. That TV show would be called Tess and Rob.
Let's see. I'm trying to look like, why did the zombie like kiss her? I guess.
Well,
I'm
and
just like,
you see it coming out of its mouth, and I'm like, no. I would rather
oh,
take
here we go.
I would no.
The
There's so
Last
many
of
other
Us
things I'd
boss
rather.
explains his crime. All right. Uh, so let's see here. Neil Druckmann explained the reason behind this decision. These things don't have to get violent unless you're fighting them from spreading the infection further. This is the realization in this beautiful yet horrific way. Craig Mazin, co-creator, said, "What can we do to separate our infected even further from zombies? It's more than just a bite. There is something else going on. I wish we had an aha moment immediately, but we brainstormed so many different things that they could be doing." Yeah, I mean, I guess they just wanted to show that, like, there's, like, this way. It's weird. It's like, they're saying, like, well, it's, like, less violent. That kind of felt more violent to me than biting her.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the ponytails from Avatar,
The
but
what?
like a
Which?
tongue version.
Oh, you're talking about blue people. Okay.
Yeah, the blue people
Like, you got to
ponytails.
say blue people Avatar. I'm not gonna get there. Um.
Yeah, I've never seen those movies, so I always think
Oh,
of
let me
Last
paint.
Airbender.
Yeah, let me paint a description for you. So these tall blue people have ponytails or braids, and
Mhm.
they've got these little tentacles, a bit like what you see come out of that zombie's mouth. So let
Mhm.
me explain this. So they use these tentacles to bond with their like horses and dragons to like fly them, but then they also coincidentally use this very same ponytail to have sex with.
It's you know what? It's just one of James Cameron's mysteries.
I'm first of all, I'm suing and then sending James Cameron my therapy bill.
Um, I think there was like a whole thing I read about this, and they're like, "No, no, it's not. It's okay." And here's like 70 reasons why. And it's like, um, well, it's like, oh, well, they're not really like doing that same thing. It's like, oh, it's not the same because they're like plugging into the animals, like, and the animals don't have their own tendrils, so it's like different. And it's like, all right, I don't. It's not that different. It's not different enough for me to be okay with it. Um,
James Cameron likes horses way too much.
Yeah. Um, so anyway, yeah, we're at this last epic scene here, and Tess decides to go out on her own terms. She dumps all that gasoline, and there's a horde coming, and she blows herself up basically with that lighter, which I was like so tense because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen in this show. Like, is she just not gonna be able to light it? And I was like, oh.
I know, I was concerned too. I was like, oh, her hand is shaking too much. The virus got a brain.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh God.
I think I would have. I don't know. I think I would have been okay exploding in that situation.
Like I said, I would have been okay too, but I wouldn't have let it touch my mouth.
Yeah, with its mouth.
I can never get past the child lock on lighters, so I'd have been gone for.
I've held like a lighter. I've held a lighter like that like maybe twice in my life, so I think I'd have some trouble.
What? None of y'all had grandmothers that smoked and asked you to light their
No.
cigarettes?
No.
The 80s was a wild time,
It
guys.
I
sounds
like my
like it.
I like light my candles with one of those like stick
Yeah,
things.
I
You
have
know,
it's
like
a candle lighter. I have the same thing here.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I literally didn't. I don't think anyone even remotely close to related to me has ever smoked. Like it was just like
Oh
such a thing that did
man.
not exist in my life until I was like a lot older. And even then it's just like yeah, it's weird, but anyway, no, I had no experience or exposure to that. Um I don't think I don't think that's a thing that Indian people do a lot. Hmm. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I haven't seen it, so it must be true.
It's definitely an Italian thing, and they definitely had a lot of emphysema in my family. A lot of cigars too.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, it was a good episode. I think this one was a little bit more character driven because we do get to see a little bit more of like who Ellie is, especially in the first half of the episode, like in her interactions with Tess and with Joel, and we also get to see a little bit of who Joel is. And I like that they don't like. I was thinking they might try to like sugarcoat him a little bit to make him more personable in the show, you know, but I don't think they did. I think they're really just kind of playing him the same way, and Pedro Pascal is again just like fucking like becoming this character on screen in an unbelievable way. Like, if it wasn't for his like accent kind of slipping in and out a little bit, which you can definitely hear, I would say this is like one of the best TV performances I've ever seen. But like, it's certainly amazing, like how well he like captures this character.
Yeah,
That's all you got? Is yeah?
I agree.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think he's pretty great, and
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what the next episode is. Like, I realized that I was stopping everything before the credits end, so whatever's
I
afterwards,
didn't
I
want to
was
like
totally
spoil
missing
myself
it.
because I know that there's like yeah, I don't, if they had like a little show, if they had like a thing like House of the Dragon where they like sat down and would like talk with them and stuff and explain what happened in the episode, I would love to watch that. But I don't want to watch like the like next time on spoilers, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm completely surprised each episode, which is fine with me.
Yeah. So what do you know about the ending of this show, or I guess like the season of the show?
Absolutely nothing. It is a surprise all the way around.
Oh, really?
Oh, we can't talk about the ending
Jeez.
then.
All right. We'll be careful not to talk about like the very last scene, which is I think the thing. Um,
Yeah.
can we spoil which animal is featured prominently at the end?
We talked about the
Oh, we
giraffes.
did. Okay. Yeah, because I thought they were gonna replace them with zebras for like lower cost, maybe, and maybe just get some horses and CGI them into zebras. If you just get some zebras and you just paint them either white or black, that's just a horse.
I
I,
mean, you
I
could
like
get
how you think that they would put zebras in there instead of giraffes to cut costs, but then they're okay
yeah,
like making people up to look like zombies.
Okay, I had the wrong idea
yeah.
because I think what you need to do is get regular horses and then put like either get like a white or a black horse and then you use the other color paint and you paint on the horse and then you have a zebra.
But you also said that this is like the most expensive. This is more expensive than Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I'm just
So
gonna
I'm
check.
sure that they threw in some giraffe,
How
six
much
giraffe.
how much will a zebra set you back? There are a hand. This is from 2010. That price is certainly not valid anymore. Here we go. The cost of a healthy zebra can be anywhere between $3,100 and $7,100. That still feels like it's not that much.
That's quite a wide gap. Like, what's like causing that price change? Like,
Um,
what's not a good
yeah.
value
How do you know
zebra?
a good? How do you know a?
I wonder
I
if
don't
it's
want
like
one of
a
those fucking
baby or
Walmart great
adult.
value zebras.
It's probably like baby or adult or like male or female. Like maybe a
uh,
male is more money than a female.
the price. Oh yeah, it's mostly dependent on the age and then the condition of the zebra. Um, you are also only allowed to own one if you're running a wildlife sanctuary or a zoo. Um, can you domesticate a zebra? In general, the zebra has resisted all domestication efforts.
Sounds about right.
I feel
I've
like
also
Chris.
resisted domestication efforts, so I can relate.
I feel like the only way Chris Martin would change this would be like a logical reason. Like he'd probably think what animal would survive for that long without like what domesticated animal would survive for that long after
A
being released from a
camel.
zoo, which definitely wouldn't be a giraffe. Like I think giraffes are actually quite finicky. but maybe like a
Yeah,
crocodile. Crocodiles will withstand anything.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be
Camel
stroking a
would.
crocodile in that episode instead.
The maintenance cost for zebras is high compared to other exotic animals. Oh boy.
I think
Yeah.
any type of bird, camel, uh, a bear, because sometimes we have bears in zoos.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe I'm trying to think. A monkey. Like there's this island off of South Carolina that's they used. This is terrible. They did
Oh, I
experiments
know
on.
Monkey Island. Yeah.
Yeah, they released monkeys and they have survived this whole time, like
So,
years.
Jess, you may not know about this, but like pretty close by in South Carolina, where I'm from, there is an island off the coast, which I know has a real name, but it's called Monkey Island by everybody.
Yeah.
It's a real ass island that is inhabited only by feral monkeys, and they have taken over the island. They own it, and so you can do a boat tour of that area, or you can drive your boat there, but you have to stay like I think it's like 200 feet away from the shore at all times because the monkeys are like actually vicious. Like if you go near enough, they will fly over and destroy you.
Oh my god! So it's like Jurassic Park.
It's like
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, but all the dinosaurs are monkeys, and you can't go there.
Yeah. So
So in
so
that way, it's
monkeys
nothing
are a
like
good
Jurassic
choice.
Park.
Monkeys are a good choice. They could survive.
Um, Also,
That would
return
be
to Monkey
scary.
Island.
Like, could you imagine like chimpanzees running loose across the city? Like that would be horrible. Chimpanzees are evil. Like that would be like terrifying. I'd be
It's
They're
more
pretty
also
scared of
very
loose.
strong. They could literally just rip your head
Yeah,
off your body if they wanted.
I would be more scared of the rampant chimpanzees than I would be of the zombies.
Okay, this is called Morgan Island, and it's off the coast. It's at Beaufort. Felicia, we could be there in like 45 minutes.
I don't.
We could
I
be
don't
at
want to
Monkey
go.
Island.
I don't want to go. I'm also
Just
scared of them.
just like Jurassic Park, where they've got this island full of
It's
dinosaurs that no
2000.
one should go on, and everybody keeps on going there.
It's 2,000 acres of pristine wilderness. Um, but yeah, so in 1979, 1,400 rhesus monkeys were placed on the island as research animals. Since then, they boomed to about 4,000. They wanted to make a self-sufficient breeding program after India banned the export of viable research animals. And now it's owned by the South Carolina DNR. That's good. Um, you can take a boat trip around the island and cruise to the coast to spot a monkey or two hanging out in the distance. This is nice. Yeah, but you
He
can't go
said
to the
since
island.
1979, and they've been able to thrive that long. So yeah, that would be my next animal that could be released into the wild.
All right, so I bet it would be way cheaper for all reasons to have monkeys on the set than giraffes. But then you might have a nope situation. Ooh, that's no good.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Don't want those. I'm gonna just say right now, I don't think a giraffe would do you like that. Okay.
Giraffes are pretty silly.
Yeah.
They're like kind of dopey.
They are dopey. I remember when I was in Africa, like, when I was younger, we went to South Africa and we did a whole like safari thing, like a real ass safari. And there was like a part where we were like just hanging out, and a giraffe like leaned all the way down and like stuck its head in the car window and was like this dopey guy just like slobbering all over me, and I was like, look at this guy.
Yeah,
Look at
they're
his
pretty
dumb
dopey.
head. Um, but yeah, I think I don't think a giraffe would turn on you. I think you could befriend one. Those are gonna be the last words that I say.
As it chomps on your fingers.
Yeah, man. Okay, I know we're like running over time here, but I like. Can I quickly tell my gigantic horrifying elephant story from Africa?
Yes, please brag about your
yeah,
trips
this
around the world.
Okay.
this sounds really interesting.
It's
Actually,
actually crazy. Okay, so there was we were on this Jeep was like basically it was like a big Jeep bus kind of a thing. I want to say bus, but like it fit like 7 or 8 people in it. So there was like the tour guide who was like driving us, and then I think there was this one other couple from Australia there, and then like my family, and he was like driving, and we were like on this like long straight dirt road, and it had like a forest on either side, like pretty thick forest, and then in the distance, like just walking slowly, there's this elephant, right? And like I can't really tell how big it is from there. And the guy just like stops. He's like, "Oh no, oh no." It's like, oh no, oh no. And he like drove us off into like the forest part, basically, like off as far as we could get off the road, and just was like, everybody shut up. If you talk, all of us will die. And so that was really exciting. And like, so this elephant comes up, and he was telling us like before it got close by, like this is a it's like a bull elephant. It's like 88 or 89 years old or something like that. And he's like, they're not like really supposed to get that old. And so the thing about elephants, about male elephants, is that they don't stop producing testosterone when they get older, even though they're not able to like ejaculate anymore, basically. And so this is real as shit, and it was horrifying. You're not
Yeah,
gonna.
that's why they also don't like keep males in like captivity, or like especially African elephants because they're so big.
Right. So one, this is the biggest thing that's ever existed on the earth. Like
Yeah.
literally like a 3-story building. Like, you know,
Yeah, they're the largest land animals.
they are. But also this is crazy. But because they're producing so much testosterone and they have nowhere to put it, it literally leaks out of their testicles. Like as it was walking, there was just like fluid falling out of it. It's just testosterone.
This guy needs to get laid.
That's what I said, but can't do that anymore. But anyway, I remember this because the elephant was like walking towards us, and like it was gigantic, and it just like stopped and it looked, and it did the fucking Jurassic Park thing where it like leaned down into the window of the bus and like looked at
Oh
me
no.
like right in the eye, and I was like, not today.
No.
And it just like got up and kept walking. But it was like it was amazing. Like I like genuinely was. I might actually like still have pictures of it from like a distance, but like it's fucking crazy. I hated it. Anyway, that's the end of my story. Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Wait, I also, when you mentioned Australia, I think that kangaroos could take over America from if they were released from zoos. So that's also an option other than monkeys.
Kangaroos are not going to be cheaper than monkeys. There's no
No,
way.
they're very cheap. There's so many in Australia they just make food out of them now.
You guys remember Kangaroo Jack? It was a different time. All right. I'm gonna just let's get out of here. I think let's we have to make our predictions for next week quickly. So next
Yeah.
week I know that most of the episode is going to be about Bill and Frank. What Bill is Nick Offerman's character. But like most of the episode is going to focus on them. So I'm going to say that because we have Nick Offerman, we're going to have Aziz Ansari make a cameo in the next episode. Just to kind of do a little Parks and Rec reunion. And he's going to make sort of a funny joke about the clickers and about how like this is better than working in like local government. So I think that's my guess. How about you, Felicia?
So I'm going back to, I really think that Negan is going to make an appearance with his bat.
Okay.
So, or at least the bat is going to make an appearance. I think that's what Ellie's weapon is going to be.
Oh, like
I
a
don't
spiked
picture her.
bat? That's like definitely
Yeah,
it.
I don't think her weapon is going to be a gun at all. So
I think her weapon is the sandwich she brought.
I can picture her
Holy
holding
shit,
this
I found
bat
the picture. It's
of the elephant
yeah.
or Ellie and the bat.
The elephant.
The elephant.
Yeah. You can't really tell how big it is from here, but anyway. It was very big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is just like me like peeking out of our little bus with my stupid little digital camera around my neck. Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's roll out of here. So thank you guys.
Oh, I haven't done my
Jess
prediction.
hasn't done her prediction. I'm so sorry. I got distracted by my elephant. What is your prediction?
So because we've just had like a lengthy battle in this episode, I think next episode is mainly going to be Joel crouching down and like moving his way around the room, just like picking stuff off like the counters and stuff.
I think there's gonna be a lot of Joel saying "come here" and then lifting Ellie up with one arm and just like letting her climb into a higher ledge. I think there's going to be a lot of that, and then there's probably going to be a lot of like the camera slowly following him, moving through a crack in the wall so that the next room has time to load. Okay, very cool. All right, let's roll out of here. Everyone, make your best clicker sound.
Oh.
Did you make a sound, Jess?
Yeah, could you not hear it?
No, I don't think it was such a high frequency. I don't think the microphone picked it up.
Oh, it was really good. It was very accurate.
Okay, I believe you. I'm gonna do one.
Oh God.
What was that? They're called
Okay.
clickers.
Oh, that's one.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. I'm ending the recording. See you next week.